Listen, today we are going to be talking about 4 things that you need to do before you start homeschooling. Hey mamas, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Yafrika and I am a homeschooling mom of 3 beautiful children. I've been homeschooling for 2 years now, going into my 2nd year. And I want to share with you today some things that I found really helpful when I started my homeschool journey. So tip number 1, know the law. You want to make sure that you understand exactly what is required for your state in order for you to homeschool. So there are varying things depending on what state you're in, what you'll have to do to register and be in compliance with your state's homeschool laws. And things vary from state to state. So there are certain states where there might be requirements for how long you have to homeschool, how you have to keep records, do you have to do an assessment, and every state varies. So fortunately for me, my state is pretty lenient. So all I had to do every year is just make sure that I register my children with the state, letting the state know that I am going to be homeschooling my children this year, and that's all that I have to do. So before you do anything, you need to make sure that you know what is required by your state. So number 2, you want to take inventory. That's right. So what do I mean by inventory? You want to know what resources and things are already available to you to support you in your homeschooling journey. So resources meaning look at your budget. Okay, so one of the things that I had to do when I first started homeschooling was I had to make sure that whatever I did, I had to do it within our budget. So even as you're looking at all this fantastic curriculum, and those things can add up really, really quickly. So before you even start looking at curriculum, before you even start looking at all these books and manipulatives and all of these wonderful things, you have to know where your budget is and set a realistic expectation. Again, taking inventory of what you have, because that's going to help you make your decisions on what you're able to give your family. Also, take inventory of resources that are available to you at no cost. As I started my homeschool journey, there definitely were things that even within my library system that I didn't realize that I had access to, such as books that were audiobooks that I could use, videos, documentaries. So lots of things that I thought I would have maybe had to pay for, I was able to take advantage of just by using the resources that are available to us. Also, there's a plethora of free websites that actually will help you as far as curriculum, maybe some worksheets, games, all kinds of things that you can incorporate very inexpensively into your homeschool. Also, take inventory of your time. How much time do you honestly have to put into your homeschool? Now, my homeschool actual day where I'm teaching my children, it really does not take me long. At the most, probably about 2.5 to 3 hours will be our longest day of actual instruction. However, the preparation that goes into preparing for the week, preparing, curriculum and things like that, that starts to build and add up. So you want to make sure that you have time in your day, in your week, and in your month to dedicate. That's right, dedicate to your homeschool. Take inventory of the things that already you're obligated to do. Some of those things might have to fall off, and you might have to take that time from maybe that extracurricular activity or that volunteer opportunity, and you might need to put that into your homeschool. So tip number 3. The third thing that I would suggest that you do is take an assessment of where your child or your children are. So this is one of the things I wish that I would have done a little earlier in my homeschool journey, was to make sure I knew, number one, academically where my children were. And there's a load of free assessments that you can take, and I'll actually link some below that I found useful, just to see where my children were. So my children, I now have a kindergartner, a first grader, and a fourth grader. And what I found is that when I started their curriculum at the level that they were. So my third grader started at third grade at the time. Again, this is about a year ago. He started at third grade. My kindergartner started at kindergarten. My preschool started preschool. However, there were definitely gaps that I was not aware of, and what that created for me and for my children was a lot of frustration, because I was frustrated trying to teach them something. They were frustrated because there were gaps within their learning of things that they had not learned yet. So I'm teaching them in some areas above their level, and then in some areas below their level. So definitely one of the things that you would need to do is take an assessment to see where your children are academically. And mama, it's okay if it doesn't work. If once they take the test, if you find out that they might be, lacking in some area, or they, are not as strong in an area that you thought, or they didn't know something that you thought they should have known, it is fine. That is fine. That's why you are homeschooling them. And that is the beauty of homeschool, is that you can fill those gaps with no pressure. You can fill those gaps to make sure that your children's foundation is completely solid. Hey, by the way, I'm getting ready to tell you number 4, but if you have not had a chance, if you like this information, again, I share tips about homeschooling, motherhood, homemaking here on my channel. Make sure that you click subscribe and click the notification bell so that when another video comes on, you'll be able to know about it. But anyways, so now my 4th one is, and this is the biggest one, know why you are homeschooling. When you know why you are taking this journey, and it's clear for you exactly why you're doing, when those days get rough, and they will, you will have something to go back on and say, okay, this is why this is important to me. So why is this important to you as a mom? Why is this important to your children that you homeschool right now? Why is this important to your family? And what do you expect to get out of this journey? Write those things down. Why are you doing it? Because mama, homeschooling is a sacrifice. It has been a sacrifice for me. And it's often, if you are the one teaching, it's oftentimes a thankless job. Even though you might put energy, blood, sweat, and tears into homeschooling your children, you have to remind yourself of why this is important to you. So even if you're in a situation where maybe this is not the road that you saw for yourself, but because of the situation, because of what's going on around us, you are finding that this has to be an option for you and your family. Even in that, even though you might not have initially chose this can be a wonderful experience. But make sure that you identify why this is so important to you to do right now in this season of your life. Well, listen, mamas, I hope that this video was helpful. I hope the information that I shared will help give you some clarity on things that you need to do before starting your homeschool. And as you go on your homeschool journey, girl, you are going to be fine. Your kids are going to be fine. So listen, mama, I hope that this information was good to you. I definitely know that these 4 steps are things that have made my homeschool go smoother, and I hope that it does the same for yours. Have a great day, mamas. Thanks for watching, mama. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video.